All right, so we are back with the Atsu Braxophone drama, and last video we finished up with Tectone's entire reaction over the essay, over his opinion on things. It was a long 2 hour video, and I'm trying to go in order on how things actually happened. Now I know that Asmund did a drama review over it as well, but his was a little over 3 hours, which is right here. But I don't want to watch a 3 hour video, so we're going to skip that one. And the next video in line will be MTash's video titled Atsu Responded, Asmongold Reacted, and I Have Bad News. ... Now, from what I picked up from Tectone's video, Atsu is now Ratsu in my mind. So we'll see if MTash can affect anything. But without further ado, let me turn on closed captioning for those of you who prefer to read. And let's get started.
Hello. Today was crazy. When I started the stream, I looked kind of like that. I was chilling, and there was so much drama dropping all at the same time, overnight, in the morning, I couldn't believe it. There was a ton of people coming out against Atsu. Braxophone made a post last night, which I did a whole video on. But I wanted to talk to Atsu today because I only gave one account of what happened. However, in the morning, as things continued on, more and more people started to come out and talk about Atsu and experiences that they had with Atsu, or Asian Guy Streams, whatever you want to call it. Now, by the beginning of the stream, I was looking like this, and by the end of the stream, or in the middle of the stream, I put on a suit jacket and I was slicking back my hair, and things were starting to get wild. And as it continued, it just got crazier until all of a sudden, I was in a discussion with Asmongold on stream, going over the facts. The facts. And that is the tough thing. And if you go watch Asmund's reaction, and you watch all the stuff that I talk about, the tough thing here is, there are very few facts. There are very few provable things here, and it is a whole lot of junior high drama, essentially, that has just continued to fester and grow in the community with thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people egging it on in the chats, in the subtweets, in the DMs. It just kept going and going and going. So at the end of the day, whether you like Atsu or you hate Atsu, there isn't verifiable, proof that he sewered people's contracts
And okay, so something to that, and just so I can make myself clear, I don't hate Atsu, okay? Like from what I know, which is based off of what Atsu said, what Braxphone said, what other people said, what MTash said, what Tectone said, it's not looking good for Atsu, right? He seems like a fucking rat. So, but there are some, I guess, provable facts, but, just because, someone gives their account doesn't mean that is true. So, sure, these creators who were posting about their experience with Atsu, they could be lying. They could very well be lying or manipulating the story on what happened to them in order to spin the narrative that Atsu is just a bad person altogether. So, I am taking what they say not necessarily with a grain of salt, but if so many people have the same type of experience with the same person, and these aren't like tiny itty-bitty little streamers like me. These are relatively big people, right? So I don't think that their experiences are too far off from the truth, right? Because there's A side, B side, and then the truth, which is somewhere in the middle. And just because it's somewhere in the middle doesn't mean that it's close to the middle of both stories. It could, lean one way or the other. But, you shouldn't just dismiss all of these things as, kind of dismissing them just because they're anecdotal. But We'll continue. No, we don't know.
And ruined their relationships with Hoyoverse. However, in my discussion or debate with him, while we were discussing things and going over some of these things, I did make it known that it seemed odd that there were so many people coming out against Atsu and saying I didn't feel welcome in the community, or it seemed like he ostracized me. It seemed like he pushed me away. Braxophone said that he reached out to Atsu about a contract, wondering how much money should I get paid. And even though Atsu may not have sewered the deal and told Hoyoverse, do not sponsor Braxophone, the one thing that I alluded to and I discussed is, at the end of the day, Braxophone, to me, seems like a pretty regular dude. And in the interactions we've had, seems like a pretty regular dude. And with some of the stories other people said about him, they're saying, we don't even fully understand why Atsu doesn't like Braxophone as much as he does, okay? But whatever it ended up being, these two over there, they did not get along. They didn't get along, and I don't know all the details because it's hearsay. It's both of their opinions on the other person. But
sure,
from what I've heard and what I've seen, it's hard to believe that it wasn't Atsu's fault that things fell apart. I definitely think that Braxophone made mistakes, and you should go and see all the stuff. You should read all the stuff. I think Braxophone made some mistakes in their relationship, but instead of,
I mean, you can definitely have people who come on way too strong right off the bat, and it'll kind of like put you back a little bit. It could be the same thing in like going on a date. Like if someone is just way too eager and just like way too obsessive, it can kind of turn you off a little bit. I get that. But it's weird that Atsu had such an extreme reaction to it. So it's very weird. It doesn't make sense.
Atsu pulling him aside and being like, hey man, you're not giving off a good vibe, and giving him another chance. He essentially just excommunicadoed him and never really gave him a chance. Now, Braxophone also reached out after they had a falling out, and he asked him about a contract, and Atsu answered it. But Atsu also revealed that he, after that discussion, asked Hoyoverse about said contract. And both Asmongold and myself said that is really fishy, because
that is,
even if he didn't go to Hoyoverse and say, don't work with Braxophone, you can't trust this guy, we don't like him. Even bringing up the fact that Atsu now knows about the contract could be enough to break confidentiality clauses and cause that contract to get sewered. But the question is, well, why would you even go to Hoyoverse and ask about said contract unless you were going to persuade them one way or the other?
Yep.
So it's a lot of these different things where I mentioned Occam's razor. When you're presented with the evidence from both sides and it's trying to explain the same thing, you usually have to go with the more likely thing. With all the people saying, and with my experience of Braxophone, do I believe that Braxophone was a creepy, untrustworthy leecher that was just trying to push his brand, push his agenda, force his way into the friend group, and was overall a bad person that only cared about creators bigger than him? I have a hard time seeing that. Could it be that...
A hard time seeing that? I don't... Okay. I have a problem with it, again, it's like this neutral stance. I have a hard time seeing that. I'm hoping he goes into why he thinks he has a hard time seeing it. But from what it seems like, he doesn't leech like that normally at all. Normally wouldn't push a guy with glasses, but you make an exception. I have glasses because, like, if MTash has had personal reactions, he should be able to say one way or the other. Like, yeah, I felt like this guy was kind of like a leech, or no, I didn't get those vibes at all from him. So kind of sit in the middle, kind of a little baby move. But
Two,
we'll see. We'll see.
didn't
what he
like
says.
the guy, didn't get along with him. They had a couple bad interactions, and it snowballed. I'm thinking it's potentially more likely. And I'm not going to say that Atsu went out and sewered the guy and ruined his contracts, but it did not help him. I cannot imagine it help him. And other creators like Dish said in other tweets, Dish said, like if we go to Dish's Twitter, she even said and replied to Braxophone and kind of said, I don't know why no one trusted you. I have to maybe go to the replies. She said, I don't know why Atsu didn't really trust you. I cannot speak to all the claims, and I'm processing it. But I want to tell you that I was very confused with Atsu's distrust for you. And so if someone distrusts you that much that he's telling his group of friends that are all in the Hoyo pocket that you can't be trusted, you have to imagine that would impact your opportunities with the company. And it would
So, again, I talked about this during Tectone's video. They keep skimming over Atsu's clique, which is Dish and I guess a few other people. But everyone keeps skipping over Dish's reply. Dish's reply is the absolute most insane thing to me because they're not talking about... But I will tell you, I was very confused by Atsu's distrust for you and said so in the car after the Anime Expo party where we all met. So if she actually said, why do you distrust him? Then Atsu would have been like, oh, I don't trust him because X, Y, or Z. He could have just said, oh, I just don't like his vibes. But the fact that Dish was just like, oh, okay. Like, they are just as at fault for being like just Atsu's little like like what would you even call them, like his little minions. But I get maybe Dish is a great gal, she's really nice, his posse, yeah, but she says, I need to apologize to you and take accountability for not paying more mind to the growing distrust. I think it's growing distrust between Atsu and our friend circle and you. But again, whenever someone says, I need to apologize, if they don't say, listen, I'm sorry, then I don't consider that an apology. If they just say, I probably should apologize to you, or I need to apologize to this person. Okay, well, have you said, Braxophone, I'm sorry? And sure, I could be nitpicking on that part, but I don't know, that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And, with Dish making this response, it just seems, again, very just, like, robot, sheep-like. Like, I will leave it to Atsu to explain where the distrust stems from. There's no such thing as being rubbed the wrong way. There's only being rubbed the right way. But yeah, like, I don't know. I don't like the way that she wrote this. And again, I could be nitpicky, and unfortunately that is where my investment stopped. So I heard passing comments about you here and there, but never bothered to ask questions. Heard passing comments from who? Just Atsu? Other people? It's again, it's kind of a wussy way of being like, listen, I'm here for the money. I'm here for my own fame. I don't give a shit about anyone else so long as I'm fine. Everyone else can suffer. That's it. She'll do whatever she needs to do. I don't like that response.
Pact, your friendship.
And the reason why I'm saying this is because Tectone skipped over it, and I think MTash is skipping over it. and I don't think that should be glossed over.
And it would impact people who Braxophone said was really nice. Maybe she isn't as willing to get close to him because she's unsure and didn't want to do her due diligence because of Atsu. And so it's this really convoluted thing where, again, it's kind of like telephone tag. It's like, don't trust this guy. Why? Just trust me. And then the next person says, apparently we're not supposed to trust that guy. I'm not sure why, but don't do it. And then by the end of it, it's like, yeah, that guy's super untrustworthy. I can't remember why, but just don't trust him. It's a perpetuated thing over and over and over again that stems from one disagreement. And so I think that Braxophone made some mistakes in their relationship and in their interactions. And if you go and read through this post, I think there's multiple things that he did that were a little off. He essentially doxed a VTuber, but the VTuber said, I'm a nobody, don't worry about me. He had no idea, and he didn't know you're not allowed to just post a group photo with a bunch of people that are willing to take a photo with you.
Yes.
If you take a photo with someone and they never say, hey, don't post that, by the way, because I'm a VTuber, how the hell are you supposed to know? You're a bunch of people, you're having some laughs, maybe you're having a drink, you got your arm around each other, let's take a picture. Why would you think, unless someone says it, you can't post that online, though, you idiot?
Yes, that is 100% that VTuber's fault. 100%. I give zero fault to Braxophone. 100% her fault.
It's like a weird social thing that some people have never experienced. And so, did Brax do that? Yes. But is he a bad person, evil person for doing it? Not really. There was a weird thing with the voice actor, and this was another point of contention, where Braxophone had heard from someone that a voice actor in the Genshin community was sus.
I mean, from the picture that they had, she looked kind of hot. So I don't know. All I could see was her hair and like the upper torso. But shit, I'm not picky.
And to warn people about it, especially if they've been interacting. And so the way I read through this, and from what I've heard from both sides, is Braxophone went up to Atsu. They've only met a couple of times, and he was like, hey, like, I see you've been talking to that person. You might want to be careful. Now, Atsu took that as, that's weird. Why would you bring up this drama? I don't even really know you. But then he also admits that he cut ties with that voice actor. So, if you did cut ties with that voice actor, and you didn't really trust that voice actor, then Braxophone coming up to you about that voice actor, not to trust him, is that an untrustworthy thing for Braxophone to do? Is that a bad thing for Braxophone to do? He was just warning you.
Like, imagine if you were friends with that original voice actor of Tenari. And then, like, you know, because we already know that whoever the voice actor was, then the genre is so old we do not need to cover this. Yes, we do! It's only 9 days old, okay? It's not that old. But regardless, like, if there's some, like, sketch person, regardless of how famous they are or who they voice act, if they're doing some questionable shit, yeah, I would hope that someone would tell me, be like, hey, that guy is, like, a weirdo.
About someone that you ended up cutting ties with anyways, right? And so the whole narrative of Braxophone untrustworthy, Braxophone is a leech, Braxophone is bad, it's harder and harder and harder for me to believe Atsu. Now, Atsu says, I did not sue her these contracts. I did not say don't work with him. But I can't imagine he did any favors. But again, this is something that cannot be proven, and saying otherwise is slander, or potentially slander for any party. If Tectone, if Brax, if I say that Atsu sewered the contracts, we'd better be able to prove it, or else we are...
Hey, I'm on Team Brax right now, okay? So this is good. This is good.
Getting into slander territory. And so we need to be really careful here. And if Atsu said, I did not do that, well, unless we can prove, or someone proves otherwise, then it's kind of a nothing burger. We can't really do anything about it. But the one thing that people are saying, I got Atsu, or I cooked Atsu, is there is a moment where we're discussing where Atsu says, I went to bat for you, because I know you didn't have a great relationship with Hoyovers, yada yada. I tried to help patch it up. And the argument is, well, if you have enough of a connection that you can potentially save blacklisted MTashed, do you not potentially have enough of a connection to say, but don't work with Braxophone, or don't work with this person, or that person? If you are even considering, if I reach out, maybe I can help out MTashed, you could absolutely reach out and sewer someone.
Yep.
And I made the same argument that this could happen with anyone. I've worked with Manscaped in the past. I just did a commercial with Advil. And if Advil asked me about a person, my opinion of them could potentially sway if they work with them or they don't. We all have a lot of power. And so that's where a lot of these allegations are coming from, is the people that are on the in crowd with Hoyoverse are doing things with Hoyoverse. Some of them are getting paid, some of them are flying out to these events, and then some people on the out crowd are not. And it's hard not to think that the in crowd is potentially sewering everyone else. And so that's where a lot of these allegations come from. But it just kept going and going and going. And there are so many back and forth things, and many of these drama pieces, much of this beef, is between these creators, and there's nothing I can do about it. I will never solve this. Enviosity came out with a massive thing about Tectone, saying that Tectone caused a lot of grief. 18 pages here of him saying that Tectone has caused a ton of grief in Envy's life. He even brought up some of...
Now, that I could believe. So this will be my first and last time I'll make a public statement about my experience with Tectone over 3 years. The control he's had on my life, the PTSD, the blah, 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 IO, the recent events. Interesting. I wonder if I can actually see the full thing, or if he's actually going to cover that. I've learned over these months that I've been
a ton of grief in Envy's life. He even brought up...
Card all you want. I'm sorry that you have to relive some of the pain. I was really going to include the Reddit club I found on the ride, but... maybe he'll talk about that. I was trying to read that. Unfortunately, I had to isolate myself and block out anything involving him due to the constant stress. Because of this, I ended up missing some pretty big news and disturbing clips involving him, which I just found out about a couple of days ago. Inexcusable behavior. Redacted information. Yeah, it's weird. I don't like that.
Tectone's...
Now, I haven't seen Enviosity's full post, so I don't want to say too much on it.
Marriage stuff, which... This seemed like a bit of a character assassination, or like, it didn't seem super relevant to it all. He essentially just said, Tectone's a bad dude, and here's why. But this is like a side tangent from like why Tectone made him.
Sadly, due to the past trauma and under duress, I made a hot-headed statement of, I should be the only one praised for being free-to-play in Genshin. To the recent Genshin drama, my peers gave me their honest opinion and said it was out of the something, like me to say that at all.
Him feel bad, all this stuff, but again, this is all some creators' opinion of the other creators. Did Tectone shit talk Envy? Yes. Did some of Envy's chat go into Tectone's stream and say, you're a whale, free to play, Envy is better? Probably, because that happened to me all the time. So the only thing...
Yes, and don't get it wrong. Tectone sucks at Genshin. The reason why he can clear things is because he has C6, R5 weapons, right? But we all know that Tectone isn't the what's the word? The tactician of Genshin, right? He plays it as a whale. And if you play a gacha game as a whale, your opinions are going to be very, very different. Yes, Tectone isn't a gamer, he's an entertainer. That's what he is. So, yeah.
Thing I can speak on is I know that Envy's audience was very annoying through the beginning of Genshin. It happened.
Exactly. Whenever you're a whale, you only have to put in maybe 2% effort into everything, and then you'll beat it.
And all the damn time. But was Envy sending his audience to Tectone or to my stream to be annoying? No. I cannot imagine any situation where Envy did that to me. I can't imagine it.
And listen, to all of my millions of viewers, please don't go into anyone's chat and bully them, okay? I'm against that. All right?
With Tectone, could there be some beef because they were giving it back and forth? Maybe. But you have to remember, again, this is schoolyard fighting. And instead of it being between a couple of people in the classroom in junior high, it's a couple of people plus 30,000 other people going, Envy talk shit, Tectone talk shit, Entash talk shit, Atsu talk shit. Everyone is pointing and pointing and doing. It's stupid. It's so immature. And so the big allegations...
stop. Don't even try to be like, oh, it's so immature. I'm so above that because I'm Mtashed. No. Like, you're making drama videos. Drama gets clicks. Everyone loves it. I eat that shit up. I love watching reality dating shows for the drama. I love watching this stuff for the drama. They make videos because... they may not necessarily even care about the drama, but damn, does it get you clicks. So, we'll leave it at that.
I wanted to see if I could get an answer. Did you sewer a contract? Did you cause someone to lose a contract? And we may never get...
Because also don't forget, this is over Genshin Impact. Okay? This is Genshin Impact. Don't forget. Ads? Aw, shit.
That answer. And we...
That's why if you're watching on YouTube, you should come watch this live on Twitch, and then if you, sub or something, then you don't have to see ads. So that's kind of cool.
Probably won't get that answer. And I would like
One
to
of four.
believe that no one would be that rude and evil. But we'll never know, officially, and so we can't talk about it anymore. And with many of these things, these relationships that have been asunder.
Here, wait. I'm disappointed in myself that I wasn't able to find this information sooner. Here, wait. Let me see if I can
And with
catch what
many
he
of these
scrolled over.
things, these relationships.
They were right. It's not the best for human emotions. I'm not ashamed to admit it, especially when dealing with things. Blah, blah, blah.
That have been...
I'm disappointed in myself. Okay. What did Tectone do in the car?
asunder.
Did he say something? Did he say something to his wife that was kind of fucked up?
Hard to ignore the fact that Sip Sip Steven and all these different people are coming out and talking about Atsu and not think, It is odd that it seems to have happened multiple times. Because even myself, Atsu dunked on me, but so did Tectone. So did a lot of different people, and the mass majority of the creators dunked on me. So I've been in this position with Atsu, but I've also been in this position with Tectone. And luckily, I've been able to move through this, and I've been in a situation where I think I'm...
Yeah, and also don't get me wrong. Tectone he likes to portray himself as like this hard ass who like just calls people out because he's so morally superior in what he's trying to do. All he's trying to do is help. I mean, he does admit that he is a dick, but don't think that I'm like just on my knees for Tectone.
Pretty chill with everyone.
I just agree with him in this one particular aspect.
I'm just not super close with everyone. But enough people feel strongly enough about Tectone that they've made multiple posts saying, we don't like Tectone.
And I will never forget Dragon Raja. I will never forget you. Because of you, Tectone, I played that game thinking that it was going to be so much fun. And that's on you. And I will never,
think he's bad.
ever forgive you for that. And I hope you see this.
We think he's toxic.
You're a bad person for that.
There's also been 5, 6, 7 people now, as of today, that have come out saying, we think Atsu has been a problem and has ostracized us from the community. So no one here, the main players here, are completely guilty. And then there's people like Dish, and there's people like Tuwano that are friends with one group, and they're like, I'm not sure what to say, Braxophone, I never had anything against you, but Atsu did. it seems like there's a bunch of people that are just players within it, that they're not major players, they were just around it. And they...
No. If you're scared to speak up against one of your friends, then that person is not your friend. If you're scared to be honest with someone, then this is not a friend relationship. And again, I think not enough blame is being put on the posse. I don't think all of the blame should be put on them, but I think at least it's 70% Atsu, 30% them. And I'm gonna stick to that percentage right now. So
they didn't stop it. They were bystanders in a lot of it. And at this moment in time, it does not seem that much of this will end. Tectone is still, going to be Tectone. Atsu is still with his friend group, and they're going to do their thing, and will probably never forgive Tectone. But the only thing is, as we discussed all this, Braxophone and Atsu did discuss potentially talking off-stream, out of the limelight, out of the drama, to patch things up and recover. And maybe these creators apologize and say, I was shitty, I was trying to grow my brand, I was doing my thing, whatever it is. I don't know where it goes from here. All I know is I am done. And I made a post about it. And this is all I want to say. Here are the facts about the drama. It sucks. The whole community is pointing fingers at each other, and it's hard to be friends or really trust anyone going forward.
Oh yeah, I guarantee you that that most of these streamers, right once they turn off the camera, they all high-fived each other and then jerked each other off. It's the same thing in politics. It's like whenever you think like, oh yeah, the Republicans hate the Democrats. No, they are all best fucking friends whenever the camera isn't on them. And we've seen that countless times. Like you'll have what's the dude's name? It's some white dude. It's I can't remember the politician's name, but he called out Kamala Harris and said you're a horrible person, blah blah blah, you're this, you're that, you're that. And then the very next day you see them like laughing with each other, he even gives her a fist bump, and they're having a good time. It's a lot of shit is fake like that. Now, some of this drama may be real, between certain people, they may aggravate each other, but they are all earning hundreds of thousands of dollars posting these videos. So don't think that it's of huge importance.
Number 2. There's a lot of allegations that are very difficult to even find proof for. Nobody can prove they said or didn't say things, but there's just a lot of allegations being thrown around. Number 3, everyone's feelings in this are valid. Envy being upset at Tectone has a reason. And Tectone feeling betrayed by some of them has a reason. And Atsu feeling hurt and frustrated with Tectone, all these different things have validity. And everyone has their own story in it. But at the end of the day, I said, this just feels like it's been 2.5 years or 3 years of beef that has just exploded and been impacted from chat and all sorts of other people subtweeting and making it worse and worse and worse. No one ever apologized, and no one ever will. I doubt anyone will back down at this point and say, I was wrong, it was my fault. Because then they lose and everyone judges them, and they're going to cancel the hell out of them. But I hope that moving forward, they can all just shut the hell up and say, yeah, we all sucked. Let's just go our separate ways. We're going to be split up in the playpen.
No. That's not how it should work. If someone is being a dick, it doesn't mean that we should all say, oh, we're all at fault. No. The person at fault should be held responsible, and they should face some sort of consequence or punishment, whether it be, them having to apologize or them saying, yeah, it was my fault. Conflicts shouldn't be resolved with everyone coming to the table and then being like, it's all of our faults. Bye. And then everyone walks away. No. Atsu needs to come forward and say, listen, like, you know, I was being a dick. I don't like Braxophone. I don't need a reason to dislike him, because people don't need a reason to dislike you. They could just dislike you just because you're you. It doesn't fucking matter. But if he would just say, listen, I don't like you for some reason. I don't know why. I just don't like you. I can't explain it. I have zero evidence to tell you why. But I just don't like you. I don't want to be friends with you. And then it's like, okay, that's fine. Whatever. But Atsu isn't doing that. He's saying, oh, I distrust you. You're horrible. I could never allow you. Okay, well, why? If he would just say, listen, I get bad vibes. I have no evidence as to why. I just don't like you. All right, I would respect that. I don't care. But it's again, that is a very, like, wimpy way of handling the beef, is to say, oh, let's all just play in our separate corners of the sandpit. Well, that's not how it works. If it's like, you know, if I'm playing with a toy and some other kid comes up to me and tries to take the toy, and we're both, you know, tug of war in it, and then the teacher comes by and they're like, all right, you know what? Now no one gets the toy. That's technically fair because the teacher doesn't know who the toy belongs to. So taking it away from both of us, that is technically fair. But justice would be, oh, this is my toy. So I should get to play with it because it is my toy. So it should be given to me, and then the person who's trying to steal it from me should get time out. Right? That is justice. So we're not trying to be fair here because we're trying to see, okay, who needs justice in this? All right? And I think that's a big difference between the two. Okay? Where's my Exactly. Just be a man.
And probably they will never get back together and be friends ever. But at the end of the day, I don't want to deal with this stuff anymore. But even though I made a video saying, this is the final video, it just got so much worse and so much worse and so much worse that it's hard not to discuss it. But I think that this is, I think this is something that after discussing with everyone, I feel like I wasted a lot of life here. I wasted 2-3 days talking about drama that it really did boil down to, like, I think you did this. I don't have proof you did it, but I think you did it. And then the other person saying, well, I think you did this. I don't have proof, but I think you did it. And it's just a bunch of fighting, of infighting with other creators, of colleagues. No one's getting along. And at the end of the day, it's just a lonely, sad community. And I cannot imagine it gets fixed. The only saving grace is with a lot of this stuff coming out, you can go through the messages yourself. You can understand all angles of this, and you can make your determinations. And at the end of the day, if you want to follow me and you want to watch my content because you like me, that's cool. But if you don't like where I landed on this stuff, that's on you. That is fine. If you go through all of this stuff and you look at Braxophone or you look at Atsu and you look at all the things that went on and you don't want to listen to them or follow them, that's up to you. But I would recommend if you for some reason care a lot about this drama, do your own research on this thing. But I'm telling you, a lot of it is just immaturity. It is just stupid fighting. It is ego upon ego upon ego. And I tried to get to the bottom of it, and I tried to see if maybe there was like a secret answer here or something that was missing. And at the end of the day, it's just dumb. I think
All right, we can't talk about immaturity whenever this is over a game that we all play, which is an anime RPG, which is Genshin Impact. We're all on the same maturity level here, okay? Don't try to be like, this is all just immaturity, okay? I'm very mature. No, it's shut the fuck up.
it's one of the most dumb drama things I've ever seen. I almost wish that there was like some corrupt major thing that happened. I almost wish there was this like moment that can be proven that someone stole money from someone or someone shanked someone. Like, I don't want someone to shank someone, but you know, it just seems like passing notes in the back of the class. So, at the end of the day, I would like to get back to our normal content. HSR is dropping soon, and I am not going to fight with anyone. I am not coming out with a twit longer about Atsu. I'm not coming out with a twit longer about Tectone. I've given my opinion that I think everyone messed up. I think Tectone was a dick. I saw him repeatedly be a dick to Enviosity. I did a stream with Atsu and Tectone where you know, Atsu was trying to say, hey, Envy's like, you know, you're kind of hurting his feelings, and Tectone never backed down. But at the same time, I see all the...
No, we're... Okay. If he's trying to include the drama between Tectone and Enviosity, that's a completely different subject. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Atsu and Braxophone. And in that particular case, yes, just say Atsu is in the wrong. So far with what I have gathered, Atsu is completely in the wrong. He seems like a complete rat, and, you know, like, if we want to bring other dramas into it, sure, then you can be like, oh, well, if you include this drama and that drama, then yeah, everyone's at fault. But we're not talking about the other dramas. We're talking about this one. So let's try to stick to this one, and if we want to talk about the other ones, if we want to talk about Tectone being a dick, sure, I agree, he's a dick. He says that he's a dick. Sometimes he likes to be very self-righteous, but he's still a dick.
People coming out about Atsu as well, and Tectone called out some of this stuff, and, you know, it's almost like Tectone's trying to stand up for some of those people as well, and it's just messy. It's so messy.
So clean it up.
But I don't want to fight with Atsu. I don't want to fight with Tectone.
Lame.
I don't want to fight with Brax. I don't want to fight with anyone. I just want to make my content, and if I see them on the street...
Oh, stop.
I just want to wave and say...
No. Oh, I don't want to fight with all these people, but I'm still going to comment on the drama and give my opinions and say who I think is technically right and who's wrong. But I don't want to fight. No, I'm so much more mature than y'all.
Hey, hope you're having a good day. But it's hard for me to get close to anyone. It's hard for me to trust anyone at this moment in time, other than some people that, like, for what I know, they've never done anything wrong. But I don't know. This is just crazy. That being said, I appreciate all the views. I saw a lot of really nice comments towards me because I did try to just understand a lot of this. And I had a lot of people comment about how they've enjoyed my reactions to a lot of these things and my level-headedness. And I would consider covering topics that aren't drama related but are big news and doing more reaction type content that isn't so fostered in negativity, because a lot of you do seem to like my opinion on things, and it's been doing really well on the channel. But I don't know, I still want to make my guides, want to still do my stuff, but it's been an interesting experiment going down this path. But this whole thing was draining, and I don't feel good.
Guys, it was draining making these videos that are getting, let's see, 258K viewers or views. Guys, it's hard. I was drained after I made a 23-minute video earning, you know, tens of thousands of dollars. I'm drained, guys. Come on.
I don't feel like I accomplished anything. There was no happy outcome here. It's just sad. It's just proof that this community will never get along. So that's it. The only other thing though is, like, it was really cool to talk to Asmongold. I haven't really got to talk to the guy before, and I didn't say much because I was kind of letting him cook and do his thing. But what I do respect is he wanted proof. If someone made a claim, when Brax made a claim, he said, okay, you put this in quotations. Did someone say this or not? Did someone say this or not? And prove it. And, I think he was pretty unbiased. Well, no, I shouldn't say that, because he's definitely Tectone's friend. So there's going to be some bias. But he wanted to know if there is a quote, was someone saying that? Can you prove that this was saying or said? And
So my thing with that, if I said like, oh, so-and-so person said X, Y, and Z, if that person saw it and they didn't say it, then they would deny it, right? So if the person didn't deny it, they probably said it.
And, I think he did a decent job discussing with all the different parties. And I think that, he wraps it up at the end the way I am. You can't fully crucify anyone because we don't have the facts. Until
I don't think that anyone should be crucified, but an acknowledgement of, yeah, Atsu is being a fucking dick. Like, I don't think that that's crucifying. Just saying, yeah, Atsu, he was a dick to Braxophone. That's it. But trying to always stay perfectly in the middle and taking a neutral stance on something is still taking a side. But it's like saying, again, and I go back to politics because I did major in political science, which, I went to college. But anyways, so, trying to always bring both sides to the middle, it's not going to work, because something should be more on the left or something should be more on the right. And being able to not always be like, everything has to be dead center, it seems somewhat cowardly to me. And I get that MTash, maybe he really doesn't like this drama. Maybe this really does drain him. Then don't make videos over it. Who cares if people spam in your chat? Oh, whose side are you on? Ratsu's or Braxies? Just play your games. But he is making videos. He is putting somewhat of his opinion out there, and I think it's a very cowardly opinion.
well, there's to it. I wish there was a better answer for you, but there is no finale. There's no end, really.
Not yet.
That's it.
Not yet. Until we actually get, Atsu on the mic with a third party and Braxophone and have all three of them talk, or have Atsu's posse actually sell him out, then sure, we don't have a conclusion yet, but oh man, I don't know. You gotta. I think you have to take somewhat of a good stance. He started off the beginning kind of going against Atsu, and it seems like he wants to say, yeah, Atsu was definitely in the wrong in this situation. But again, he has to kind of play the middle ground and say, well, everyone is at fault because there was this drama with Tectone and Enviosity, so that was wrong. And it's like, oh, okay, but with this particular issue, yes, so far we can say Atsu is completely in the wrong. He's a dick. He controls his posse. Okay. And if his posse is fine with that, then so be it. But at least be honest about it. But anyways, so that was the end of MTash's video on Atsu Responded, Asmongold Reacted, and I have bad news. Regardless. So, anyways, For those of y'all watching on YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in to this part of the drama. And it will continue. There's still quite a few videos that I have to get to, and hopefully you will tune in for this entire series. And keep in mind, please don't watch one of these videos and just run with it in terms of, you know, what I think, what my opinions are. Definitely watch it from start to finish, because my opinions do change throughout it. What I say kind of changes throughout it, and I kind of form my opinion a little bit deeper as the drama goes on. So, again, if you're watching, I think this is going to be part 4. If you're watching just this video, please watch the first 3 videos, and that'll give you a little bit more context into why I'm saying what I'm saying. But anyways, whatever time it is for you, have a good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and hopefully I will see y'all in the next part. Bye-bye!